Hmm. Um, they go next week. Yeah. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Dummies podcast. We are going to be talking about all things football related, and we got a bowl game that's on tonight. We actually picked these already to make sure that we got these in. There's a bowl game again that's going to happen here very shortly. I think 8 or 9. It's 8 now, so it's going to be happening shortly within the next hour. But the big thing here is what we're talking about is this is the last little bit with football that we have left, so enjoy it. This is probably the funnest time of the year to watch football, with all the storylines that are happening and the pros that are getting geared up for the playoffs and the teams making those last pushes. It's exciting time to watch football right now. So here to talk with me about that all night long tonight is going to be Mike. What's up, Mike? How's it going?
Good, buddy. What's happening? How are you?
I'm good, man. Double booked myself last night, so that's why we didn't get a chance to go live, which that's okay. That stuff happens.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do is we're going to start over in the NFL, and we will talk about them, obviously, because it's mainly what we talk about. Big news out of the NFL right now with a certain franchise. Actually, there's a lot of big news coming out. Okay, let's start there. Let's start with injury driven weekend here, right? Some massive things happened over the weekend. It really is going to change the landscape of some of these franchises moving forward. Let's take, for example, the one that probably everybody is talking about most. Um, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes goes down I think in the fourth quarter or late third, with
Fourth quarter. Fourth
an
quarter.
apparent
Yeah.
with an apparent knee injury, and it buckled on him as he was trying to evade a runner, and ends up tearing his ACL. And they later found out through more MRIs and testing that he also tore his LCL or his PCL, one of the two. But at any rate, he banged up his knee pretty good. Um, he has since had surgery. He has since, oh, this dude just got knocked out. Sorry. He has since had surgery. He is already starting rehab. It's about a 9 month process. And considering the fact that he has the best trainers, the best PT, the best everything at his disposal, I wouldn't be surprised if 9 months ends up being a little bit shorter for him, but probably guaranteed around 9 months, which easily puts him back before the start of the year. So good news for them. Um, is he going to be the same player when he comes back? No, he's going to be a little off. He's not going to be the Patrick Mahomes. Something to keep in mind when fantasy rolls around. Okay, because his numbers aren't going to be great next year. It's almost like an Achilles injury, right? You know that after that first,
Yes.
when they come back after that for the first time after that, they don't move properly. They don't feel right in the pocket as much anymore because they're so scared of getting hurt again. Um, so he had obviously been trying to play and practice on a bum knee for what seemed like 2 or 3 weeks now, and it
Right.
finally pretty much said, I'm throwing the towel. I'm tapping in. I'm tapping out. So that's what we're looking at. What do you think about the whole thing?
I think first off, the AFC is wide open.
My God,
You're
my
you know
God.
your reigning dominant force
What
is
is it?
out.
The
So
first time in
you know
11 years? Did they say it's the first time in 11 years?
yes. Yeah.
First time in 11 years the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs. Thank you, peanut gallery.
And there's not that one team you look at and you go, wow, they're going to be a
Well,
tough out.
there's
You know,
there's three
there's two good teams.
I would say that there's easily 4 teams that you can say, wow, these teams are ready to go. And that, in my opinion, on the NFC side is Seattle and LA, the Rams, by the way. And it just so happens they'd be playing each other this Thursday or Saturday, whatever one it Thursday.
Right.
So
tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night. So great matchup. My opinion could easily be the NFC Championship game. And then on the AFC side, New England, even though they just lost to the Buffalo Bills, but New England and Denver Broncos, two teams in the AFC. Two teams in the AFC that I can easily say are head and shoulders probably above everybody right now.
That being said, neither will be my pick to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC right now.
Okay.
So. But you know what? I could see. But the crazy thing is, I could see either of them go to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's how wide open it is. It's insane.
Well,
you know.
Not to mention, I don't think anybody would have put their money on the Cincinnati Bengals going to the Super Bowl when they did.
True.
You know?
I mean, we've been saying this all year. It's a week-to-week league. All of a sudden this week, Miami's knocked out, Dallas is knocked out, Kansas City's out. Indy looked rejuvenated with the 44-year-old Philip Rivers. They pushed you out to the brink. Do
you want to get right into that and talk about how old man Rivers quite easily is the greatest comeback player of all time?
I mean, I don't know about that, but I was impressed.
Well, let's put it this way.
I mean, the guy was out 5 years, practiced like 4 days. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And again, not to mention, he built this offense with Shane Steichen in the offseason because they both ran it. Shane obviously ran it in the NFL, and Phil ran it for his high school football team. Now, I'm sure that the complexities of this offense was not in high school.
Right. Absolutely.
This was probably a very good base model for high school where, they had, their plays and everything like that, where the NFL, the audibles and the corrections and all that other stuff. I have scenarios here too, if you want to go over scenarios, or we can wait until this weekend, how Buffalo clinches a playoff berth. I mean, right now it's a laundry list of things that need to happen. So,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably a little bit too early to be looking at scenarios right now. But there's still teams that are out there that could easily lock up division titles, maybe even number one overall titles this weekend.
Right.
And like I said, this is by far.
I mean, another huge weekend for another weekend, basically playoff football coming up. I mean, it's crazy. Starting tomorrow night.
You figure from here on out, it's playoff football, baby. I mean, the good thing about the Steelers on their side is that if they lose the next two games, it really doesn't matter. It only matters what they do in their last game. Which is kind of stupid to think about, but it's the truth. We really don't care what happens in these next 2 weeks. Now, do we want to lose these next 2 weeks? Hell no, we don't want to lose these next 2 weeks. We want to be able to, have momentum going into the off season. I mean, by the looks of it, is where we're heading is the off season or the postseason. It looks like we're going to be there. Yeah. It looks like we're going to be there. I'm at this point in time. It's very different atmosphere of what we are week to week as well in terms of how we feel about our teams from week to week. Just like how any given Sunday happens for the NFL. Now, a week ago we were saying that's it. They ain't gonna win no more games. They're done. They look pitiful. They look awful. And then they come out with two strong play outings, and kind of changes our attitude a little bit. Like, well, wait a minute. This is 2 games in a row. This doesn't appear to be a fluke. This doesn't appear to be the blind squirrel found a nut. This appears to be the Steelers really figuring out how to work together and how to call this offense and manage this team.
I was just going to say the offense was the big. It's been the big juggernaut here. The big difference was how we're pushing the ball down the field, how the running game looks.
Yeah.
How a undrafted guy who started his first game, Dylan Cook, dominated all-pro pass rusher in Bradley Chubb with no help. You know, um, and for the first time in years, we sat back and relaxed in the fourth quarter of a game where we didn't have to bite our fingernails off. You know,
Yeah, that's
but
probably
it's
going to
actually
be one of the first games that we've been able to hold a lead comfortably and not been
right,
like, well, shit, we might blow this one. Oh, if you don't look out. What and the whole thing is too is when you get down in that red zone, you're trading touchdowns for field goals. And Boz, we love you to death, but we hate to see you in the red zone. We just hate to see you
right,
because that means that
yep,
our offense didn't do their job. So,
yep,
Boz, I'll give you all the money in the world to stay in Pittsburgh and play kicker for us and keep this be our kicker forever. But I don't want to see you when we're inside the 20.
no,
I
not
want
at
to see
all.
somebody. I want to see somebody shaking their booty and spiking the football because we ended up getting in the end zone.
Yeah, Troy Aikman brought a good point up. A The Steelers' offense with Aaron Rodgers, how they're playing, are a little scary right now.
Yes.
Different vibe going on with that team.
Yes.
Um, you know, and I remember you and I having a conversation. I'll never forget this. It wasn't on there. It was just through text when we signed Kenneth Gainwell,
Yeah.
and I'm like, whatever. He's so. You know what? Boy, was I wrong. That guy is a beast.
Dude,
he is a beast.
He needed the right system, and not that
Yep.
Philly wasn't the right system for him, but it kind of didn't define what his role was, so
Right.
maybe
Right.
he didn't play comfortably in their system. Obviously he was leaned on a little bit heavier a couple years ago when he was there because it was basically him and Miles Sanders, and then Miles Sanders left, and I
Right.
think they had a void there where it was nobody. I think they kind of bounced around,
Right.
and then the next year, the following year, is when they got Saquon, and then obviously
Right.
history is what history is, and they win the Super Bowl, and he knew probably sticking around town that was going to be his role. I'm going to be maybe a third down back, maybe.
Right. Maybe. Right.
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 I'm going to be the guy that comes in, and gets 6 touches a game because Saquon needs a break. So,
Right.
kudos for him for realizing, like, hey, I love this town. I want a championship here, but I need to do what's best for me and move on. And it just so happened to be in the same state, just on the other side of it, which is great for us because, like you said,
Right.
he's a superstar right now.
Yeah.
It looks amazing, and he looks to be one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets coming out of the backfield.
Oh, big time. Listen, that's the thing. On third down, he's looking downfield, but if not, he's not afraid to dump it off 4 or 5 yards and let Gainwell go get the extra 3 or 4.
Nope. And he's very comfortable with doing that too, instead of eating it or tossing it away or anything like that. He trusts Gainwell to get the ball in his hands and make something happen. Get 4 or 5 yards. Make a second and long, a third and short. Make a third and long, a fourth and manageable, to where who the hell is Mike Tomlin goes for it 3 times, and all 3 times ends up picking up the 4th down.
Right. The one thing that stood out to me, and it's been the last 4 or 5 weeks, his burst. Mm-hmm. When you think the guy's caught, all of a sudden he gets 5 yards around end, or he gets a block and goes 20 yards on a run. I mean, it's just and him and Warren seem to be a nice mix and match there, which is nice, So
which kind of sucks because they're the same player basically, in my opinion.
You're right.
It's the same runner.
Yep.
I'm thinking that they should probably try to gear Warren more towards inside the tackles running, so it makes Gainwell more dynamic on the outside when he gets in space. But that's not how Warren runs either. That's not his game either. So trying to make him something he's not, that's why Warren looks so dynamic and so wonderful whenever we had Najee Harris back there, because Najee Harris was in between this type of runner. So when we got Jaylen Warren out in space and he was able to break off 20, 15, 12, 17, 35, when he was able to break those wheel routes and running back screens and stuff like that. When he was able to break those, we were like, this is the greatest guy of all time, you know. But it's guys like Najee that was able to open a
Oh, it's
door for
great.
him, you know. That's a lot of
Yep.
the reasons. It's a lot of the
Absolutely,
reasons
man.
why, at the Juju Smith's first year in Pittsburgh, he was so dynamic. Why? Because they were more geared towards trying to watch AB. So Juju had
Right.
nobody looking at him. He was basically one on one and soft zone. Where when AB left and it was just Juju, Juju didn't look as hot anymore.
Yeah.
Because there was
Right.
nobody there to support him. And that's why
Exactly.
that's why sometimes Dallas needs to get their shit together because they have the world at their fingertips on offense.
Oh,
They have two dynamic wide receivers plus an all elite tight end, and sometimes you
yes.
still struggle to put points on the board. It's almost like they get in their
And
own way.
a hell of a running back.
Right, and it's almost
Right.
like they get in their
Right.
own way. You
Yeah.
shouldn't. You should easily be averaging probably 30 to 35 points a game with your offense.
Yep.
And it's not like
It's almost like they hit a wall.
Yeah.
It's almost like the last 4 weeks they've hit a wall. And
Yeah,
they're eliminated by Minnesota this past week. I mean, wow.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm looking at here too when I'm talking about this is because they only put up 26 on Minnesota, and Minnesota's defense is not what it was last year.
Right.
So, they've had an up and down season too, and I mean Dallas's defense is terrible. So you need that offense to go fast and go hard all the time. But like you said, they're already eliminated, so it doesn't matter. They're out. Nobody needs to worry about them right now. So,
you tell me what you want to do.
Now Pittsburgh is now 2-11 when TJ Watt doesn't play. So there's some silver lining in that where they were 1-7, 1-11. So that's nice, and it looks like that the Steelers potentially made Miami bench Tua. So if nobody's heard yet, Tua is now benched for the remainder of the year.
Yes.
And
for Quinn Ewers.
Is now your starting quarterback. To me, it sounds like they're in step 3 of the process. Okay, let me tell you what the steps are. Okay, the step number 1 is trade players. Okay, they've already done that. Okay, step number 2, fire coordinators / GM. I think they've done that. Step 3 is bench your starting quarterback. And then step 4 in this process, which they're getting very, very close to, and that's fire your head coach.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to hear what Matt has to say on this topic, especially considering the fact that he's in the shark tank down there, in the dolphin tank down there, with Ace Ventura. But it'll be interesting to hear what the weather is like in Miami on this situation. But as an outsider, Pittsburghers looking down into Miami, this isn't good for your Dolphins team.
They're done. They put their white flag up. That's all. They're done.
They're smoked right now.
They're on the way to 7-10. In a heartbeat here. Quick. They have to get one more win if that happens. So
right. And kudos for them too.
Not only did they bench Tua, they let go of Matthew Judon today.
Yeah, I heard they cut him, didn't they?
Yes.
Wow.
So,
I think I heard he was only supposed to get like $6 million or something like that.
Right.
So what does it save you on your cap? It can't be much.
Probably like $2.5 million. I mean, not much to be honest with you.
But at this point in time,
I mean,
Matthew Judon can go and play for
anybody.
Anybody at this point.
He can pick for a contender.
I mean, he's got to clear waivers and see how that goes, but still.
Right. Yep.
And that's assuming that nobody else picks him up, which I can't imagine he goes through waivers.
I'd be shocked, honestly. There's so many teams who have needs, and look at us in the mirror right now with Herbig's hurt possibly,
Right.
Maybe he pops up on our radar. Who knows? but that's a guy can definitely help with a contender for sure.
Can you imagine
You
us
know?
getting 3 Miami players in the same year?
That'd be nuts. That'd be
You know,
nuts.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Plus, if we sign Judon, we have Judon, Chuck Clark, and Patrick Queen. How you doing,
Yeah.
Baltimore?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that and that's funny too that you brought up Patrick Queen because that made me think. Because we talked about this. I don't know if it was on air or not, but we talked about Patrick Queen. He just doesn't seem like he's there. Like he just doesn't seem like he was last year. And I think last
He
year he
makes
was a
some
little
big
bit better.
splash plays, but yeah, consistency is not there for sure.
But what my point is in this is that maybe Baltimore saw that, and the reason why they didn't
Well, I remember when the
fight to keep it.
Yeah, that was a big argument out of Baltimore. Like, we didn't think he is worth that type of money.
Right.
And listen, I'm not saying he's not a good player. I think he is, but consistency isn't his game. It seems.
No.
So in his defense, he's playing with a lot of injuries, but who isn't at this time of year?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about one more big injury. Probably the second biggest injury this weekend. The biggest trade in the preseason. Micah Parsons.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about him. Shit. Yeah, Michael Parsons goes down with a huge knee injury. Again, non-contact, plants his foot, kind of does a weird little move, and pops his ACL. He's another one, tears his ACL. Also, looking about the same time frame as Patrick Mahomes. They did it on the same day. So, yeah, huge hit for Green Bay, especially now coming down to the wire.
Huge.
And
yes,
you can probably even say that this could have been the straw that broke the camel's back. This could be the reason why Green Bay doesn't win the division. Because Chicago looks like they're on fire. And they already have a great defense to go along with it.
They do.
And their offense seems to be figuring things out as well. But I think, what did he have, like 6 sacks just in the fourth quarter alone or something like that? You're losing that at the most important time of the year. Like, oh boy, that hurts bad. That hurts.
Yeah, big time, man.
Yeah, so huge injury there.
Yep.
I heard there's some other guys that ended up going down with ACLs this weekend as well.
Are you?
So it was just a terrible weekend for injuries, and especially with teams that are in the race here. Bad time sucks.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just looking back at scores here, and New Orleans ends up pulling out another one against Carolina, 20-17.
Talk about they've beaten Tampa Bay and Carolina the last 2 weeks.
If I'm not mistaken, haven't they beat Carolina twice already now?
Yeah.
So this is they swept the Panthers this year. It just sucks.
Yep.
They went with Spencer Rattler for pretty much the whole entire year, and didn't give this kid a chance because I think he's won the last two to three games.
2 games, yeah. I mean, yeah, he did get popped and went out and Rattler finished, but the kid makes plays.
Mm-hmm.
He's not very flashy, but he does make plays. So good for them.
As long as you're winning, nobody cares.
Right. Doesn't have to be pretty.
Nope. No, it doesn't. Denver, like I said, still looking as awesome as anything. 34-26 over Green Bay, which that's where Parsons got hurt. But Denver still looking good. Rams still looking good against a Detroit team that, again, seems to be struggling. 41-34.
Yep.
Letting up a ton of points on defense, which, again, we talked about. Their back end on defense is severely decimated with injury. Three of their, 5 starters on their in their defensive back room are down.
Yep.
It's just, again, terrible timing for this. Good for us because we get to go play them, but I don't have a good feeling about that game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't. I think this is an ugly week for us. So
right. And then how about Baltimore
sure.
blanking Cincinnati, 24-0. Speaking of Cincinnati, have you been able to go back and listen to Joe Burrow's comment?
I did. I watched it.
So
yes, I watched
you
it. Yeah.
Tell me what you think about that.
Well, after watching it and then seeing him play,
whew,
wow.
He
wants out of Cincinnati, and now
I think he wants more than out of Cincinnati. He might want out of the league. Kick him off the tour, Doug. I think he's done. I think he's mentally fried.
I think he's just tired of playing for a piss poor organization, honestly.
And again,
he gets beat up every year.
Yeah, we talked about this. The guy's played 3 whole seasons out of his 5-year NFL career. And well, I should say I think 2 whole seasons, not even 3.
Yeah.
His first year, I think he got hurt, knee injury. His second year, they go to the Super Bowl. His third year is his wrist, right? And then I don't know. I can't. And then again, obviously this year he misses 3 months with a toe injury.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that type of stuff weighs in on you mentally hard and physically.
Yep.
You're spending all your energy and time rehabbing, and
right.
It's just, it's almost. He's almost looking at the the light at the tunnel, and he's saying, "Oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel." It's like, no, that's just a train coming at your ass.
Right. I mean, here's the thing with the Bengals, though. If you're a fan of their team, if you're an NFL fan, and they've given up 437 points. I mean, I don't care who you have on offense. You need to score 500. You need to score 35 points a game to be in every game. And, it's funny, we joked about that in the offseason. They're going to have to score about 40 points a game. Guess what? They need to score about 35 to 40 points a game to win a game.
Right.
I mean, it's I'd be tired of it too, to be honest with you. I'm constantly getting hurt. I have weapons. But again, now the T. Higgins thing is very interesting. He's out 1 week with a concussion, comes back, plays a week, then he goes out with another concussion. You know what I mean? Like, the league's looking into that. Their organization just run piss poor. I think if listen, as a Steeler fan, I'd throw 3 first-round picks at Cincinnati and said, give me Joe Burrow right now. I would. No kidding.
I don't even think it would take 3, to be honest with you. I think it would take 2.
Well, 2. I'd do it right now. Give me without no questions asked. I would do it.
I'll tell you what. We'll give you 2 first rounds and Mason Rudolph. How about that?
There you go. Sounds good.
I'm good with it. The only problem is, I don't think the Steelers are picking up that contract.
Oh, I think if they could somehow finagle it underneath the salary cap, they do that in a heartbeat. You know what that would mean? Bye Cam.
Well, again, I'm still under the impression that Cam is retiring at the end of this year.
Well, he signed a 2-year deal.
I don't think he plays that out.
He's going to play next with you. I'm with you. I don't
think he plays that out. I really don't.
Right.
He looks bad. He looks old. He looks slow.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Yeah. I mean, he made some nice plays, but overall his game is not anywhere near it was last year. Obviously we're seeing a changing of the guards on the defensive line. Our 2 best defensive linemen are Yaya Black and Harmon when he's healthy. But
Two young guys.
Cam's a shell of himself.
Mm-hmm.
TJ, we'll see if there's rumors he'll be back in Cleveland, but who knows? Pompiani reported that today.
Listen, keep him out another week. We don't need him for Cleveland. Keep him out.
Listen, if as long as we don't have to win that last game, keep him out. If both Herbig and Highsmith are healthy against Cleveland, we'll go to Cleveland, win that game. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's too dangerous. Let the guy get healthy.
Especially when we're all thinking now that playoffs are very feasible for us at the moment.
Right. Especially if Baltimore has the toughest schedule left of the teams in the hunt right now.
Yeah.
They have to play New England, they have to play Green Bay, and then they come to Pittsburgh. So
yeah, the Colts don't have a very good schedule leading up to the end of the year as well. Old Dominion just won.
They did. Wow.
Scored another touchdown. It's now 23-10 with 2:25 left in the fourth. But yeah.
Wow.
I say keep that man at home. Let him heal up. We're going to need him for the long haul, not for the sprints. We need him for the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
So keep his ass at home.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So the one other thing that I think we can talk about here, and it's going to be pretty quick anyway, and then we can move on, pick our Thursday night game, and then start picking some of these college games because there's a lot of them. But Washington Commanders come out and officially shut down Jaden Daniels for the rest of the year, which we talked about this last month. We talked about this, like, what do we do? Like, why are we playing a guy who's hurt, who may have just re-aggravated his elbow? And then, like, what do we do? We're not making,
right.
We're 3-9, 3-10, whatever we are. What are we doing? Why are we trying to keep this alive? Why are we trying to squeeze the last little bit of juice out of something that we can't squeeze? We're trying to squeeze juice out of a rock, and we can't right now. So why do we keep playing? We need to bench him. And so it happens. Yesterday, Dan Quinn came up and said, we're shutting him down, which is the right move.
Right.
All right. So.
Right.
Yeah, just stupid to try to keep him running. Cincinnati, you probably want to think about maybe doing the same thing with Joe Burrow, shut him down for the rest of the year. It's not going to do you any favors, especially if he's not in the right frame of mind.
Well, you just calling in today, right?
What's that?
He's calling. I'm playing the last 3 games. I'm here to win. Burrow's comments today. They asked him if he was playing. He said, "I'm here to win games. So I'll be playing the next 3 games."
Oh,
so
okay.
Kind of. I guess people were doubting him after the last performance on Sunday. So
yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to look at him a little bit. I mean, it's kind of hard to look at him the same after he made the comments about, well, I'm not having fun, and if I'm not having fun, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to look at him and what he says and not think to yourself, back.
I know.
Like maybe this guy's done. He's checked out. So, all right, let's go into tomorrow's game. LA Rams going into Seattle, which I just read that the Rams are having travel issues right now. They had a plane scheduled for today, and it sounds like
yes, they are.
It sounds like the plane had mechanical issues and they were unable to leave. So the plan was for the coaches and the players to board a 737 and get to get to the venue, and then the staff would follow on another airplane at another time. Um, this sounds like a big, huge clusterfuck for the Rams going into Seattle.
Yeah.
They're getting a point and a half though.
Yep.
They're set at 42.5. I'm not sure at this point what Devontae Adams' status is. To me, it didn't sound like he was playing because he had re-aggravated the same. He had re-aggravated the same.
Yeah, the one.
Go ahead.
Devontae is out now. He okay. Just got downgraded to doubtful. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he had just re-aggravated the hamstring that he had issues with earlier in the year. So there is probably there's probably where they get the point and a half. But you know, both of these teams have yet to lock up their division. They just so happen to be in the same division. So easily to say,
huge game.
This is a massive game. It's almost whoever wins this game, not only do they win their division, but they also get first round bye.
Yeah, it's you know, that division right now with Seattle, the Rams, and if not mistaken, San Francisco's a game behind. So, you know, there's a lot of football left to be played here, but it's a huge game. I think the Rams won the first matchup. So this is a huge game for Seattle being at home.
Okay, so there you go. Here's a scenario. Pretty simple. Seattle clinches a playoff berth. This is just a playoff berth. We already know they're going to make the playoffs, but if they can clinch tomorrow night, they can clinch with a win or a tie or a Detroit loss or a tie. So if Seattle wins, they're in. Pretty simple. They probably have one of the easier schedules to clinch a playoff berth. Now, Philly, they're going to be able to clinch their division if they win as well against the Commanders. And then some other teams.
Philly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then San Francisco can clinch a playoff berth if they win. So again, some big implications this weekend. A lot of teams are, winning in, and then some other teams here are win and potentially get the first round bye.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see. 4 games at the bottom. 5, 6, 7 games this week with huge playoff implications. Mm-hmm. You know, when the first one so happens to be the biggest game of the week, probably 11-3 LA Rams versus 11-3 Seattle for the division right now. So,
so there are.
And the first game was a great matchup, 21-19. The Rams won. So, you know, both teams are banged up, but you know, I expect another tight game between these two. So.
Yeah, currently there are there's 6 teams, or 7 teams, 7 teams in the AFC that are all eliminated for the playoff contention. There are 8 teams. 5 teams. No, I was wrong again. 6, I can't count. 6 teams out of the NFC that eliminated. right now, as it would stand, Steelers would host the Chargers at home if the playoffs
Wow.
started now. Um, I feel good about that game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a shoe in, but I do
No.
feel better about that game. Um, but I'll tell you what, New England playing Houston in the first round of the playoffs. Ooh wee! If that
Yeah.
was the case,
Right.
if that was the case,
Absolutely.
if the playoffs started now, that would be your lineup. Obviously, Denver would get the number one seed. Um,
Wow.
so, at any rate, let's pick this game. We got the Rams getting a point and a half in Seattle. Over under is 42.5. Basically a toss up.
Man, it's a tough one.
I'll go then because I think this one's pretty easy for me, and this lies on the fact that they don't have their hot star in the red zone, Mr. Red Hot, Mr. Red Zone, Devontae Adams out for this game. I think that is going to be detrimental for the Rams. Um, you know, 14 touchdowns I think on the year for Devontae and Stafford together, so that's going to come into play. This is going to hurt them in the long run. I think Seattle keeps this one. I think they clinched their playoff berth. They're winning in. I think they win this game on a Thursday night. I think both of these teams are 11-3. Um, Rams are 5-2 away. Seahawks are 5-2 at home. Almost identical records here. The over under doesn't impress me. 42.5. Because I'm still thinking this is going to be a tight game, divisional. Everything's on the line. I don't think it's going to be as wide open as it probably people would want this to be. This is going to be a tough game. To me, this line seems a little bit too big for my liking. I'm thinking maybe a 17, 14, 13, 10 game. So I'm going to take the Seahawks and I'm going to take the under.
Okay. Seahawks in the under. Is it me or has Sam Darnold slowed down a bit the
Seems that
past
way.
few weeks?
Seems that way.
Yeah,
They've had a couple of
yeah,
tough games.
it's messed up though.
They've had
That's for
couple
sure.
of tough games.
Right, right.
I mean, I get it that Phil Rivers was the quarterback this past weekend, but you can't take away the fact that offense is still that offense. The defense is still that defense.
Right, right. Yeah.
I'm sure a couple of plays differently, and Seattle would have blew them out, but also a couple of plays the other way, and Seattle would have lost.
Right. I'm with you, I think, on Seattle here. But give me the over in this one.
Okay. I just think that Devontae Adams is going to be a huge factor in this game, and him not being there, that means now that you have to solely work with Puka. And I'm not saying that Puka can't do it on his own. He's done it before, but now that you don't have to watch two superstars, you only have to watch one of them, it tends to be a little bit easier when it comes down to game planning. And
yeah, I mean, I can see it happening, but they also have they have two good tight ends they use,
right,
two good running backs. I mean, I see. Adams is a huge loss for sure. Huge loss. He's a touchdown machine, red zone terror right now, best in the league. I just think these two teams play a tight one. The first one, 21-19. I just see a little bit more points. I think the lines where it's supposed to be at 1.5. I think the over-under is where it's supposed to be about 42.5. I just see us going under, maybe beating the hook 23-20. Last second field goal by Seattle to cover and beat the spread. So give me the sea chickens and the over.
Okay. And it just so happens I went back and looked at the Old Dominion, South Florida. Matt won that one.
Of course.
Jerk. Stupid jerk. Mike,
I had a good week last week with college though. So
well, you had a good week just in ATS.
right.
Your
Right.
over under was 50%, but your ATS,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
80%,
Yeah. That's why I had a big weekend last week.
90% or whatever it is. Yeah. Big,
Yeah.
big 7-1 you went.
Yeah.
The only one you missed, and you guys all hit your super dogs. The only one you missed was the UC Davis Illinois State game. That was it. And that was the last
Wow.
one. That was the last one of
Last
the
game.
day on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
kudos to you for that. So yeah, obviously, if you didn't know, we have moved on from the pros. We are now going into the college ranks. We do have 2 Saturday games though, for the NFL coming up for this weekend.
We do.
So
Yeah.
Friday's going to be a big show and doing some picks here. College now, we get to move to here, and we only have to pick a couple games because we'll be here Friday, and Saturday there's a big slate on Saturday. There's a Monday game. There's a Tuesday game that we will have to pick on Friday. And then obviously there's the 2 FCS semifinals that we'll have to pick as well on Friday. So
Right. Right.
still a lot to pick, still a lot to choose from here. Again, Old Dominion beat South Florida. Louisiana is playing Delaware right now. So Thursday tomorrow is the Xbox Bowl, and that is going to be Missouri State versus Arkansas State. And I got to change gears here. Okay, so pull up the scores here, and Missouri State is getting a point and a half. I'm sorry, Missouri State is giving a point and a half. The over under is set at 54 and a half.
Interesting. So say that again. 54 and a half.
Yep, and Missouri State is giving a point and a half.
They're giving a point and a half.
Giving. So
Okay.
Arkansas State is getting that point.
Yep. Yep. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I am taking. Why am I on this? Hold on. I'm going to try to pull up. Let me see something real quick. I don't know if you have a pick for this game.
Yeah,
just trying to pull something.
I'm going to take Missouri State,
Okay.
and I'll take the over in this game.
Okay. And the over.
Yeah.
I am going to take. Let me see. What did I? Let me see. Okay. I am going to take. I had a list I put down here, but I don't know where in the heck it is. So I'm just gonna go with what I think I picked.
Which, by the way, you know is wrong, right?
Because I have no idea where it went. Yeah, probably. Yeah. So give me Missouri State in the over also.
Okay. I took a quick gander at some of the games that Arkansas State played, and they lost to some teams that I don't know if you would say that they're fantastic teams, but I didn't like what I saw when I looked at the record, when I looked at their game.
Right.
So it kind of turned me off onto what their wins were versus who they lost to, and it's pretty much why I went with Missouri.
Gotcha.
The next one is Friday, and that one is going to be 11 a.m. It is the Myrtle Beach Bowl. It's going to be great. You get to wake up on Friday, take the kids to school. Actually, only take one of them or two of them to school, and then I come home, I eat lunch, and then I got football on all day, baby. It's the greatest. It's
That's
the
a beautiful
greatest. There ain't nothing
That's a beautiful
better.
thing.
It's wonderful. So the Myrtle Beach Bowl. I'll give you one guess as to where it's played.
Myrtle Beach.
South Carolina.
Myrtle Beach.
It's going to be in South Carolina.
There you go.
So Kennesaw State is going to play Western Michigan. Kennesaw is going to be the designated away team, and Western Michigan is going to give them 3.5. The over-under is set at 47.5.
Okay. Okay. I am going to take Kennesaw in the over.
I agree with you with Kennesaw and the over. I was actually thinking that myself. I don't know why, but the last couple reviews that I looked at Kennesaw, they look good.
Yeah. Well, they win 10 games. I mean, for a team that's, I think they've only been FCS 2 years now. FBS, I mean. So to win their,
they just won their conference.
Right.
What was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. They beat Jacksonville State. Yeah.
Yeah, the Conference USA game. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like them to win against Western Michigan. So, at 2:30, the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl against Memphis, who is the designated away team, taking on NC State. And NC State is going to give them 4.5, and the over is 57.5.
Okay.
Me, I am taking Memphis in this game. I like the points, but once a Tiger, always a Tiger. Give me a Memphis. And I'm going to take the under in this game, though.
Okay. I'm riding with you on Memphis. I think they win this game outright. And I'm taking the over. I've seen NC State up close to quite a few times. They don't play defense. So.
Very good. Good to know. This will be the one game that they do. And then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this next game is why we talk about college football and why we love it so much. This, my friends, is the first game of the first round of the CFP National Championship playoffs. This is number 9, Alabama, going into Norman, Oklahoma, to play the Sooners, ranked number 8 in the country. This is a pick'em game, just like you would think it would be. OU is giving 1.5 to Alabama, and the over-under is set at 39.5.
Wow. Well, I'm going to pick on this one.
Go ahead.
I'm taking Alabama in the over.
Roll Tide.
I'm just going on quarterback play here. John Mateer, every time I see him play, the kid shits the bed. He was supposed to be one of the top QBs coming out. I like Ty Simpson better. I'll be honest with you. No, nothing bad, nothing else bad to say. Oklahoma has one of the best defenses in the country, but Alabama's right there with them athletically. The big thing for Alabama, they have to learn to stop the run, which I think they will do, and I think they win this game and beat Oklahoma.
The Grinch knows where it's at.
Excuse me. Yes. I have been burned by Mateer a few times this year. I don't like it. You can also probably think that Ty Simpson maybe feel a little bit jaded with the Heisman. Congrats to Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
Congrats to him for winning the Heisman. You can maybe think that Simpson is a little bit jaded, not being on that Final Four committee. So I think he's going to come out here like a bat out of hell. Again, I don't trust Mateer, at least not this year. I thought he was going to be something more than what he was this year. It kind of bummed me out on who he was and all the hype that was surrounding him. I just Alabama in the playoffs are just different team. Whoever the coach, they're just a different team.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and I don't think either one of these teams has played a game under 39.5 points this year. So I can't see this being another one of them. And this ends up being one of the better games of the CFP because
absolutely
these last two games, Tulane, Ole Miss, and James Madison, Oregon, are brutal when it comes to their spread in the CFP. 17.5 points in the Tulane game, 21 points for Oregon. Like, it's terrible. These are the things that end up kind of pissing you off when it comes down to it. And I understand it. These teams won their division, and this is what I bitched about from the beginning. Your divisions need to be, your division winners need to be in the CFP. That's what this is all about. But boy,
right.
This is going to show us real quick why maybe that might not be the correct answer, but it's the right answer. But sometimes the right answer is not always the correct answer.
Right.
Or the pocket.
Right.
But yeah, that's all we can get picked for now because everything else we can pick for Friday. And I'll still have to get spreads on playoff games. I'll get these picks over to Matt as well. Speaking of which, did you also know that Aaron Rodgers only had 4 incompletions all game on Monday night?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, the guy, listen, it was his best game of the Steeler, in my opinion. The team played the best game of the season.
We said last week that was the best game that Aaron Rodgers looked in a Steelers uniform. Well, he just beat that.
Right. And I think he bettered it this week. I only remember one pass where they got their hands on. It was a low ball thrown to Freiermuth, and guy made a great play. Almost picked it. But other than that, man, he played a clean game, a smart game, total control of that offense. He just seems to be getting stronger. Is it me, or does the addition of MVS and Thielen, even though they're not producing a lot of catches, Thielen made 2 plays in the running game that were huge.
He ended up breaking.
MVS's touchdown was huge.
Yep. Ended up
right.
Adam Thielen ended up helping Gainwell break a long run with his block, and MVS gets a touchdown. So, the guys that we had had picked up later on in the year, Thielen being the last of them, have made differences in the team already, and that seems to be what we
big
have
time.
been.
And the direct result of Aaron Rodgers one of them.
Yeah, and that seems to be what this defense is or this offense has been missing this year. Is that guys that know what they're doing, guys who should be doing a little bit extra. You know, Thielen just stepped in front of the guy and just let the guy run into his back, and
Right.
Gainwell takes it up the
Yep.
sideline for a huge game. I mean, great. You know.
Yeah, and he was the first guy to tapped him on the back. Great play.
Yep.
I mean, another guy. While we're talking about players that we signed recently and made an impact, Asante Samuel
Interception.
Jr. at the pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big play, big play in the game.
For sure.
I mean,
and getting out of football entirely, it would be ill-advised of us, since we are a Sports Dummies podcast, to not bring up the dummies of all dummies and Jake Paul fighting on Friday night on Netflix against Anthony Joshua. Right? Mike, can you hear me? Mike.
yeah, you're breaking up. You froze and then you stopped and.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a. There we go. All right, connection looks better now. It'd be ill-advised if we didn't bring up Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua.
Interesting.
On Netflix.
Very interesting fight there.
Yes.
I haven't followed Jake Paul much, but I know Anthony Joshua is.
Oh. Weird.
What is your take on that?
Well, Jake Paul needs to win. Bad.
Right.
If he does
Could be
win,
considered legitimate, correct?
Yeah. If he does win, I mean, that kind of changes the game for him.
Right. Right.
You want to pick that fight?
Yeah, I'll take Joshua. I'll take Joshua in a. Let me see. Is it gonna go a distance? I don't know, man. Joshua's a big puncher. I think Paul's gonna try to go all out. I think Joshua knocks him out in the later rounds.
Okay. I'm going to say Paul in a decision.
Okay.
Because every time that we want this guy to lose, he doesn't.
I wanted to actually get in. Good point. I actually wanted to talk about a little about Cena's last match.
Okay, we can do
what your take was on that.
I think, though rather disappointing, it went exactly the way it should have gone.
Chicken nuggets, odd, and cheeseburger.
Yeah, it was a little anticlimactic. I just thought it could have been a better match. I'm not, as I look back on it, I'm not stunned at the ending because, Cena was smiling, kind of did it on his own terms, and it makes sense how he's going out, put his shoes in the middle of the ring, and now Gunther's the biggest heel in the business, for Christ's sake, so that makes sense. Just kind of anticlimactic as a match itself, I thought.
Well, I thought it was a good match. I thought it showcased a little bit more wrestling than it did the sports entertainment aspect out of it.
Absolutely, right. Which I liked. Which I did like.
Yeah, Cena got all of his moves in. He got all the highlights in. But
Right.
at the end, the ending where people were like, "Oh, he's Mr. Never Give Up" and this and that.
Well, I
Yeah,
think that was a
he
sign.
was.
It was a
Listen,
symbol.
he was always that when he was a wrestler full time. He's not
Right.
that guy anymore. He doesn't have to
Right.
prove anything. This was his last match. Why wouldn't he tap
Mhm.
out?
Right.
Why
Right.
why would he go until he passed out or not gave up at all? What? That doesn't, to me, this just doesn't make any sense. I mean, to me, it was kind of like, hey, this is my character and my character is dead. Okay, so I'm out.
That's what I felt. Yeah, I
You
totally
know?
agree. Yep.
So
Yep. The whole never give all that stuff. It made sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it all made sense. It sucked. Don't get me wrong, it sucked. You're just like,
Yeah. It did. It did.
but
Yeah.
I knew that he was going to lose. I think everybody should have known that he was going to lose.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I hear all the marks out there saying that, well, they should have did this differently. I understand that people go out on their back, but they should have did this one differently, considering the fact what people had spent on tickets to go to this. Well, just because that's the case, it's still business. Would have
I
been
mean, listen,
it would have been nice for you to go home with your feel good moment, but that's not what this business is.
right. And listen, let's be honest. He tapped with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Which is pretty ironic. You know what I mean? So.
Not to
Yeah.
mention, if Cena wasn't okay with it, I don't think it would have happened.
Oh, totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah.
They would have
Yeah.
done something else. And again, Cena has said too, this is just a day in history. I'm looking for the future,
Right.
you know?
Yep.
And the future is to continue a storyline with Gunther saying that he is the legend retirer
Legend.
of some sort.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That he puts the guys, he kicks them out. He's got two guys now that he's retired. And
right, Goldberg. Yeah.
And I think it would be fitting if he retired AJ Styles, if he retired CM Punk, if he retired Randy Orton.
Yep.
Again, to go along with that moniker.
Right.
And let's not forget, too, he needs to retire Brock Lesnar as well.
Yeah.
Because Brock Lesnar, I read an article, I don't know if it's true, but it seems to sound like Brock Lesnar is trying to push for a 2026 retirement at SummerSlam.
Wow. Okay.
And
that would make sense.
Right. And we already know that AJ is doing the same thing next year. I don't know if he's going to do something along these lines.
Right.
He's also retiring next year. But yeah, this went the way that it was supposed to go. At this point now, it closes the door because he had said, I'm never coming back to wrestle again. This is it.
Right.
This is the last time you'll see me in the WWE ring. If he doesn't give up, if he doesn't lose, there's that speculation. Well, he never lost, so he can always come back. And that's just not who he said that he was. He said, he's done, he's done. So
yeah. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, yeah.
Again, as a fan, it sucked to watch, but as a realist, it was the best thing that they could have done.
Yeah. Now, real quick, just a moniker from last night I saw. Big mistake, a big botch.
In NXT.
Thea Hell won a title on a botch.
Yeah.
And they had to shift gears really quick in the back for, so that was interesting.
Yep.
So
did you know that Thea Hale is a Plum
she's
graduate?
A graduate. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know that until I think a couple months ago.
Yeah, and I'm shocked you don't know because Pat McAfee has mentioned that.
Yeah, he has mentioned. I think that's when I figured it out because he had mentioned it one time on a show, and I was like, "Oh shit, no, really?" But that was a couple months ago.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Mike,
I saw.
I don't have any other football for us to talk about. We have picked everything
No.
good for now. The Sunday slate was what it was. There'll be more storyline to talk about this weekend, after this weekend, when some of the chips have settled and the dust has fallen. And
Like I said, out of the 16 games this week, 7 are we have possible huge playoff implications in 7 of them, in 7 of the games. So, talk about a weekend that's, not only is the college football playoffs getting started, but
yep,
the NFL starts tomorrow night. It's huge. You know, I mean, we have 2 NFL games on Saturday. We have Texas A&M Miami on Saturday, plus the other 2 games, Tulane, Old Miss, and Oregon versus JMU.
yep.
So, big weekend, big weekend, and the start of my vacation. So I'm gonna come a happy bird. I'm not gonna go back to
Sounds
the
good.
5th. So
There you go.
yeah,
Yeah, you got that. You got that school year schedule.
yeah, yeah. So
So good deal. Well, Mike, if you don't have anything else, I think that's a wrap for us tonight.
yep, sounds
All
good to
right.
me.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us on a short stream tonight. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, keep those notifications on so you know when we go live. And we'll be back Friday with the full slate, the full team, and we will go over everything. We will react to everything, and we will pick the slate to be. And like
Yeah,
Mike just said, it's going to be a hell of a weekend. So kick back, get warm, and watch some of the greatest football that we're probably going to see thus far, hopefully. So, Mike, with that being said, good night, everybody.
good night and see you later.